Hey, what's up? It's Ben Nathan the Benjamin. So this is the video that I haven't made that really has needed to be made for a long time. What if you're not really from a religious background? What if you come up from a family that isn't into Jesus specifically? Like what if you know differently? You probably heard the name Moses, right? Like the 10 commandments, that type of thing. He actually grew up as Egyptian royalty. And given the negative history that Egyptians and rich people had with believing in God and like living for God and oppressing God's people, this basically meant that Moses couldn't have grown up any farther away from God than he did, and yet God used him. And not only that, but God waited until Moses was 80 years old. Don't rule yourself out because God doesn't. Abraham was also a very important character in the Bible, too. Again, he grew up very far away from God. In the place and family that Abraham was from, it was actually common to worship these idol gods, like these alternatives, to throw your hands in the air and worship them. That's the culture that they grew up with. I'm sure that your culture was a little better than that no matter where, right? And so basically, what that means is that Abraham grew up in a place and around people that worship the devil. And yet God used him, this time when he was 100. But maybe you haven't ruled yourself out. Maybe, on the other hand, you think that you're good to go. The Apostle Paul grew up as a religious Pharisee and he persecuted Christians. He thought it was his truth and that he was good to go, but then Christ changed his life. Why? Two reasons. First, it needed changing, which we need to recognize. And second, God was willing to change it. After Christ changed his life, it said in the Bible that something like scales fell from his eyes. That's in Acts 9:18. Why did it say that? Because he was blind. He couldn't see since he thought he was good to go and didn't have to get closer to God. He thought that he was okay. So no matter who you grew up with, whatever it was, whether it couldn't be farther from God or even if it was religious, know that there's always room for improvement in that. This is what God wants from us, for us to continue to get closer to him. He's not your family's God. He's your God separately, and everyone else's God separately. Deuteronomy chapter 30, verse 4 says, it talks about distance, and it says that even from the farthest distance, again, maybe you grew up from far from God, or maybe worse, you've been blind and you think you can see. Even from the farthest distance, it says God wants to bring you back. So that's a personal pronoun, personal God. In Isaiah chapter 41, verses 9 and 10, God says, "From the farthest distance I have called you. I have said, you are my servant. I have chosen you and not rejected you. So do not fear, for I am with you, and do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you and uphold you in my hand." So there's no distance that God won't bring you back from. There's nothing. Even the distance of thinking that you're already there. When he says, "I have chosen you, I am your God, you are my servant," it means that it's not about the God of the people around you or what you grew up with or whatever. This is your God. I am your God, personally. And he wants you to get close to him even from the farthest distance. God bless you.